All right, let's discuss this and more with Republican presidential candidate Will Hurd. He's been very critical of the former president, Donald Trump. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. By echoing Trump's talking points, are candidates like Ron DeSantis actually boosting Trump's 2024 chances?
Of course they are, Wolf. What doesn't make any sense to me is how someone like Ron DeSantis thinks that kissing Donald Trump's butt or licking his boots is going to help him win an election. This guy is your opponent. And let me be clear, Wolf. This is not about the weaponization of the government. This is not about citizens of D.C. That serve on grand juries. This is about Donald Trump losing an election, trying to overturn that election, failing to be able to do that, and then running again in order to stay out of prison. Like, this is what this is about. Donald Trump would not have to be arraigned tomorrow if he would have accepted the counsel of all the folks around him. And what's even more shocking to me is that a lot of Trump's defenders today are using the Donald Trump is dumb defense to explain his efforts and his activities. This makes no sense to me, and we are better than this. America deserves better than this. We have a lot of generational defining challenges we have to address. The Chinese government trying to surpass us as a global superpower. AI is going to impact every single industry. These are the issues we should be talking about, not the continued baggage of Donald Trump.
His lawyers are already suggesting that he won't be able to get a fair trial here in the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. What do you say?
I say, the American people are resilient, and you're going to find 12 people that are going to do their job and take their job seriously. This is what's great about this country, and it's one more excuse from Donald Trump and his people about protecting his negative behavior. Guess what? Don't hold secrets in your bathroom. And then don't lie about having those secrets, and then don't try to destroy evidence that you had those secrets. Don't lie about losing an election and try to force states to go against the law. Don't try to get people to march down the street and hang Mike Pence. If you don't do these things, you wouldn't be in this position. And this is why we need to make sure we elect somebody else. The GOP cannot elect Donald Trump to be our nominee, because if we do, we're giving 4 more years to Joe Biden. And Wolf, if the folks watching your show want to see me say this to Donald Trump's face, go to hurdforamerica.com, donate at least $1 and help me get on that debate stage.
That debate coming up in about 3 weeks out in Milwaukee. If Trump, Congressman, were to win another presidential term and winds up putting a stop to these cases, or actually pardons himself, what would it mean for American democracy?
Well, it would be the end of American democracy, and that's why I'm running for president, to prevent Donald Trump from being the Republican nominee. And let me be clear, the best way to stop Donald Trump is to beat him in an election. Only 23% of Americans vote in primaries, so those other 77%, I need y'all. I need y'all to get engaged. I need y'all to vote this time in order to make sure that we have a real competition of ideas in November, and make sure for the next 247 years, America is able to do what we've done for the last 247 years, and that's uplift humanity.
Before I let you go, Congressman, one final question. Fitch Ratings has now downgraded the U.S. credit rating, citing what it calls erosion of governance. The White House blames Republican extremism for that. How do you respond to that?
Well, a lot of leading economists thinks that Fitch made a poor decision, but ultimately this is a problem that both parties have contributed to over these years. We shouldn't be going up to the cliff every time to fund the government. I think, and one of the things I will work for when I'm president, is to have at least 2-year appropriation cycles. I would even push for 4 years so that we have a level of consistency and continuity. That's going to improve fiscal responsibility of the government. Everybody knows in the government, if you don't use the money, you're going to lose the money. That's the wrong incentives to have in the government. And so this is a problem that both parties have had. And now, in order to solve this complicated problem, we need common sense.
Will Hurd, thanks so much for joining us. We'll continue this conversation for sure down the road.